Hello, Jeff Foster, WebBiz Ideas. I wanted to create a video tutorial to explain the written tutorial I have on how to get your picture to appear in Google search engine results. So the written tutorial covers three main areas. Is your content on a single author site? Right? So are you trying to get your picture appear in the search engine and you are just one sole blogger? Number two is if you have a website that has multiple authors, perhaps a company blog where multiple people blog on it, or perhaps you allow guest blogging. And number three, how do you get your picture to appear in the search engine if your content's on another website? Let's say you got accepted for a guest post. Again, how do you get your picture to appear in the search engines? So you can read the written tutorial, but it can be a little confusing. So I wanted to create a video tutorial to go along with it. So we're going to go over each three of these to help you get your picture to appear in Google. So step number one on all of these is you need to log into your Google Plus account. And then second, you're going to click on your profile, and then you're going to click on Edit Profile. And this will allow you to add things to your Google Plus. And so next you're going to want to click on Contributor To. So Contributor To is Google saying, well, tell me where you contribute to. Tell me where you write articles on. Tell me where you publish your content online. Whether it's a blog, your website, other people's websites, YouTube. Tell me where you are contributing to. The other profiles, that's where your YouTube and social accounts will go. This is where you're writing content. So if you're a single blogger, right, one blog, one person blogging on that blog, it's very easy for you. All you're going to do is click Add Custom Link, and you're going to add in your blog. Right, I already have mine in here. If I was adding it for the first time, right, I put blog webbizideas.com, and I would put, right, Jeff Foster's, right, blog, just like that. And then you're going to save, and then you're going to be done editing. And so what that's going to tell Google is, right, I am authorizing, I am verifying that I contribute to this website. So that's step kind of one to it, right? You have to tell Google from your Google Plus account saying, I contribute here. Now you need to go to your blog and do the same thing. You need to tell Google that I am the owner of this blog. Look, I can log in, I can add code, and I'm going to link back to my Google Plus account. So let me show you an example of this and test out and see if it works. Right? There's a website, swingtradestocks.com. Why am I using this as an example? Right? It's just this guy blogging. Just one person. He writes everything on this website. So what does he do? Right? Obviously he's done what I just showed you here, but next, his next step from his website is he needs to add a special code. And you can do this two different ways. So option number one is to add this code to your meta tags. What is this code? It might be better for you to refer back to the written tutorial here under step one, and that's right here. Right, option number one, it says throw this code into the head, right, of your website, and this would be it, right? Link rel equals author, and then you link to your Google Plus URL, and then I have an example here, right? And it just basically, right, copy this thing, and in between the quotes, right, you're just going to throw in your Google Plus URL, right? There's the Google Plus URL. You're just going to throw it into my example, right? And then you're going to go back to your website. You're just going to throw it into the head of your website. If you don't know what the header is, well, you're going to have to contact, a web designer, a coder, look up WordPress, tutorials on meta tags and titles, things like that, and you'll be able to add that in very, very easily. And so, right, does it work? Well, hey, you click candlestick pattern, and there he is. He's the first result. He doesn't even have his name on this page. He doesn't have him as an author bio, but it appears in the search engines because we added that code, which you can find from the written tutorial, into his header. One person, one blog. And that's option number one if you're a single blogger on how to get your picture and appear in the search engines. Another option, my friend Manny Karthik, Daily SEO blog. He does it option number 2 way. He does it a little differently. So if you would look at his code of his homepage, he doesn't have basically a link to his Google Plus account. Sorry, I had it spelled wrong there. But either way, right, he doesn't have a link to his Google Plus account from his homepage. Remember, that's what the other example did, right? He linked it in his code. Manny doesn't. At the same time, Manny's articles still appear. There he is. So how does he do it? Well, on each of his pages, he puts a link on the bottom that says Manny Karthik. Now this isn't just any link. If we inspect this element, right, if we look at the code of his website, Manny Karthik is linked to his Google Plus account using rel equals author. That's the key, right? He links to his Google Plus account using rel equals author. How do you get that code? Go back to the written tutorial here, and right, you're going to have another example of that, right? Here's my even picture of it, and you can again just copy, right, this code and just plug in, read this, plug in, your number there. So right, every Google Plus account has a let's just show you this real quick. Right, every Google Plus account has this number in here. That's your unique ID. That's your number to Google. And so in our example, you're going to basically copy, this, and then you're going to replace, right, this with that number. And so that the example's right here. Very simple. If you're not a coder, if you're not, just hire some web designer, for an hour to plug this into your site, and you're good to go. Show them this video, show them this tutorial. Anyone that knows anything about coding will be able to do this in, less than an hour, we'll say. It should be like 10 minutes. So those are your two options. And again, he comes up for that information. So just to recap, if you're a single blogger, right, one blog, one author, this is step 1 in the tutorial. Those are your 2 ways to do it. So refer back to the tutorial if you have questions. Next, though, I'm going to go into if you're a multiple, author website. For example, About.com. They don't just have one person writing for them. They have hundreds, if not thousands, of authors that contribute to their website. This would be the same if you own a blog and you allow guest blogging or contributors to your website. How do you code your website so Google actually shows the pictures of people in the search engines? So same thing. You're going to go to your Google Plus account, you're going to click on Profile, you're going to click Edit Profile, and you're going to add a link to your contributor to. Now this link, instead of going to your home page, right, we linked the last one to your home page if you're a single author, because the entire website, right, is articles or blog posts that you have published, right? That's why you can link it to the home page, because you're telling Google, well, everything from the home page on, it's me, all me. But if you're multiple authors, you have to tell Google, well, what content within the website is mine? And someone else that writes for them has to tell Google, well, what content within this website is mine? And to do that, it's the same thing, except you're going to link somewhere else. Let's see, I'll just edit this one because it's this, right? So I am a multiple author, right? Our company has multiple employees, and multiple people write, on our blogs and our resource centers and at webinars and things like that. And so I'm linking to my section. I'm linking to my author page within my website. I think I have it pulled up somewhere. Let's just type it in again in case. Right, this is me. This is an author page. It has everything that I've been publishing, and you can go back, and see all previous ones. It's kind of like a blog post page for just me, and it tells Google, hey, these are all mine. I wrote these. This is me, and we'll get into these links over here. But that's what I'm showing you, right? So if you are on a website publishing content and you have multiple users, you have to tell Google, where are your posts? So if you don't have an author bio page, click the link in our written tutorial that I have there and learn what it is and learn how to build it. Maybe in the future we'll just have something you can download and you can use for WordPress, like a theme. So that's your step though. So here's the big change, right? The first one, if you're a single author, you're just linking to the home page. Now you're linking to a specific page on the website that's going to have to be coded correctly, but it's going to tell Google that, hey, this is all mine. And so let's just look at an example of that. So I have let's just close this quick, right? This is Jennifer from About.com. She writes for them. This is her author bio page, right? It's, hey, I'm Jennifer. This is my education experience. Here's references, and here's where you can click for my other articles that I wrote. But notice right here it says you can read more information about Jennifer's work on her Google Plus profile. And if you would inspect this element in the HTML, you can see that she links back to Google Plus too, right, using rel equals me. And this is kind of hard because they have some extra code in here. So let me show you it from the tutorial in step 2 here. Right? She's linking back. Remember in the first one we used rel equals author, telling Google I am the author of this. But now we're telling Google that, hey, this is me. Everything that's on this page and links to this page is me. It relates to me. So you're using rel equals me. And so again, you just need to copy this code. I even have examples, so you can just, again, plug in your Google Plus URL and you're good to go. So very, very, simple there. So just to review, because there's a couple more steps here. If you have multiple users, right, if you're About.com, if you have multiple authors and you're allowed guest blogging, step number 1, you got to go into your Google account and you got to link to where your articles are published on your site. And don't just create any page. See our other written tutorial on coding a correct author bio page. But also, then step 2 is, well, every time you need on your author bio page, you need a link back to your Google Plus account using that special code rel equals me, which you can get from our written tutorial there. Okay, so that's where we are. Now the next step though is, that's good, this is our author bio page, but what about every single piece of content that now is written? For example, right, if I type in SEO tips, right, she comes up number 1 with her author picture. So she comes up here number 1. So she had to do some special things to have that happen still. So what did she do? Well, if we click on this link, right, this is the actual page that she wrote. Now there's one very important part that she has done, and that is she has linked to her author bio page, right? If I click on Jennifer, it goes back to that page, right? And remember, this page now links to her Google Plus profile. So can you see what we're doing, right? This page links to this page, which links to Google Plus. So now Google can say, okay, every page is linking back to that I know she wrote. But the very special code that she put in, if you inspect the element, again, rel equals author. So now she links her name back to her profile page with rel equals author. So it's saying, hey Google, I am the author of this page, and guess what? This is me. I'm Jennifer, and this is my Google Plus profile. So everything she writes, she's just going to link her name back to her author bio page using rel equals author. Of course, in our written example, you can go in here, and again, I have that code again that you can just copy and put in there. So really, it's very easy once you do it, but I'm creating this video because I know it can be complicated. So hopefully, I'm explaining it in a semi-organized, logical way. Now, one other thing to note. Notice on her author bio page, she linked her name. You can do that. You can also link the word Google Plus. You can also link, for example, what I do is I just have a Google Plus icon. It's kind of all the same, right? My pages still come up, number 1 and with the picture, and so does to Jennifer, right? So you don't, in the written tutorial I have, right, you can put your name, and sometimes it's Google Plus, and it's recommended. I would suggest that, but if you want to get a little creative with the design and put icons and things like that and link that, Google's going to understand what that all is. And one more thing to note that I talked in the written tutorial, it's good, right, to link your name up here, right, correctly. But also, a lot of times you put your name in the author bio page in the bottom. So don't just link it once, right? Every time you talk about the author, Rick, right? This should go to the author bio page, but it should be coded correctly. It should have a rel, equals author in there, just like it does. Same thing if it's, hey, see more articles about this. This links using rel equals author. So every time you're linking to the author bio page, every time you're talking about the person, you need to add the rel equals author into it. So you need to link that. So it doesn't always need to be the name, Rick. You don't need to always link that or always link, author bio page. The key is you need to link with the rel equals author to that page. And then from this author page, right, you need to link back to Google Plus using the rel equals me tag. So you might need to watch the video a few times to get this. Over the last few months, even our company, we've been implementing this for all of our clients, and it's taken some time to get used to. And to figure out exactly what Google wants. So don't get frustrated. Continue watching this. Ask questions. I'll be happy to answer. Now, so this video doesn't get too long, number 3, is your content on another website, right? So guest blogging. Someone invited you to write a guest post for you. Then, fantastic. But how do you get your picture to appear? Well, right, number 1 is you probably should show them this video, because it's no different. If you're guest blogging somewhere else, or you're accepting guest bloggers, you need to have your website coded just like I explained. Just because it's a guest blogger, you don't put guest blogger, in the author name, or you don't link that, right? That's just red flags. And I don't want to get too much into that because I wrote another article on a prediction on blogs that allow guest posts will be penalized in 2013 if you're not doing it correctly. So please read this tutorial, code your site correctly. If you're guest blogging somewhere, you really should have it so they're a multiple author site, so everything I just talked about in step 2 should be done. But if they don't, and if they don't want to do it, there is another alternative, kind of a fix that you can do. And the fix is you're going to put the rel equals author, and you're going to link that to your Google Plus profile page. So, for example, right, Jimmy, he doesn't work for this company, but he guest posts here, right? He wrote this, and there he is. So what you want to do somewhere in the post or in your Google Plus account, you're going to want to link your Google Plus name to your Google Plus page, and you're going to want to have the rel equals author tag. Now, it's not going to guarantee that your name's going to, your picture's going to appear, right? It doesn't. Part of the reason, right, the blog doesn't link Jimmy correctly, right? They don't link to his author bio page with the rel equals author, so Google doesn't know that they're really an author. Hence also why if you're guest blogging and it says guest blogger there, well, Google's going to say, who are you? I'm starting to put authority to pages based on people. If it's by guest, who is that? I don't know that. And who knows? Maybe they'll just say, if I don't know this person in the future, or if it's guest blogger, I'm going to devalue this, and if I continue seeing it, I'm going to devalue everything. And again, that's what the other article talks about, so please watch that as well. But this is kind of the fix, right? This is the workaround. If you're getting published somewhere and they don't have this, try to link it to your Google Plus account. And then also, if it's a really high authoritative website, I would suggest going back into your Google Plus account, clicking the edit profile again, contribute to, and then adding that website. So remember, in the very beginning, we clicked the contributor to and we added these resources. Well, if you're contributing to one website over and over and over again and they're not coded correctly, again, if you have your Google Plus link with the rel equals author coming back to your Google Plus, and then you tell Google I am a contributor to that, well, they're going to connect the dots. And so then, Jimmy, his name could, picture could appear in here. So again, a workaround, but the better solution is they just code it correctly. So again, here's the video of it. Within this article, I have an infographic that might help you. There's also a Google Rich Snippet testing tool. After you're all done with it, you say, do I have it done correctly? Watch the Google Rich Snippet tool, and that will be able to help you as well test to see if you coded it correctly. So there's a semi-quick 20-minute video on how to do it, and if you have questions, please let me know. List the comments. I'll be happy to answer them, and I hope you implement this correctly.